Good day. Thank you for joining us for today's news. If you find this helpful, please consider subscribing. We're here every day with calm, clear updates just for you.
James Kohberger has been sentenced to life in prison for the brutal 2022 murder of 4 University of Idaho students. Over 300 documents have been released, revealing details of the crime scene and the events leading up to the murders and Kohberger's behavior in jail.
The Ministry for Culture and Heritage has made a shocking decision, an 80% reduction in senior historian roles. This move is part of a larger plan to cut 26 positions across the ministry, with only one senior till the end of the school year. The decision comes after the ministry's funding was reduced in the 2025 budget, forcing a difficult salo. The ministry has acknowledged the strong feedback from staff emphasizing the importance of maintaining key outputs, like the Tiara Online Encyclopedia and the Dawn Raids History Project. However, the Public Service Association has called to preserve our heritage. Fleur Fitzsimons, the National Secretary of the PSA, warns that without the expertise of senior historians, important projects like the Tiara Encyclopedia may not be adequately maintained. The ministry has also reversed its decision to cut the solicitor role. As the ministry moves forward, the challenge remains clear: how to maintain the integrity of New Zealand's cultural and historical record while operating within significant trade. In the coming months will test the ministry's ability to navigate this complex landscape without sacrificing.
A historic ruling by the International Court of Justice has given a major boost to the fight for climate justice, especially for the women of the Cook Islands. This decision, while not legally binding, has opened the door for developing ties. The Pingman, president of the Cook Islands National Council for Women, played a key role in the process, making a power change. She emphasized that the ruling, coming from the highest legal authority in the world, is a clear message that the global community can't ignore. The victory is not just legal, it's a cultural and social one, as it highlights the impact of climate change on traditional crafts and the livelihoods of women, with warmer temperatures destroying ecosystems and making it harder to source natural materials. The ruling offers hope that legal mechanisms can be used to hold governments accountable. For the Cook Islands, this is more than a legal win. It's in the face of a growing crisis.
The England women's rugby team, known as the Red Roses, is heading into the 2025 Rugby World Cup with an aura of confidence and determination. Since 2019, they've only lost one match, our heartbreak indeed, in the 2022 World Cup final, but that loss has few. Now, with the tournament on home soil, they're focused on internal standards, not outside pressure. Coach John Mitchell has emphasized the team's unity and depth, while Captain Zoe Aldcroft is determined to put the past behind her. Abby Burton, a player who overcame a life-threatening illness, is ready to make her mark again. As the Red Roses prepare for the World Cup, the message is clear. They're not just chasing a title, they're proving they belong at the top of the sport.
A man's recent rescue from the Tongariro Alpine Crossing serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that winter hiking can pose. Police received a call from a man who found himself in serious trouble after realizing he was unprepared for the harsh winter conditions. The man, who was extremely cold but not injured, was Sexpay. Senior Constable Barry Shepherd emphasized the importance of being equipped with the right gear and being aware of the unpredictable nature of the alpine environment. He urged hikers to take adequate supplies, wear suitable footwear, and know how to use ice axes. Manager for Tongariro, Libby O'Brien, added that even experienced trampers can find themselves in trouble if they are not high on. Both Shepherd and O'Brien stressed the need for visitors to check the Department of Conservation website for up-to-date information on conditions in Tongariro National Park during the winter months. As the winter season approaches, it is crucial for hikers to recognize the risks and take necessary months as the winter season as Seasker.
In a high-profile meeting, Ghislaine Maxwell, the imprisoned accomplice of Jeffrey Epstein, was questioned by a top U.S. Justice Department official. The meeting has raised questions about the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein case and whether it is part of a corrupt deal to protect Donald Trump. As the legal and political battles continue, the public remains divided over the extent of Trump's involvement and the administration's commitment to transparency.
A sudden cold snap has gripped New Zealand, bringing freezing temperatures and icy roads that have caused chaos across the country. In Wellington, train services were forced to halt as icy conditions prevented treks, with disruptions reported on several lines. In the Bay of Plenty, a serious crash left one person critically on the tracks. Meanwhile, parts of the South Island faced hazardous conditions, with black ice forming in some areas in a curious twist. While Invercargill was freezing at 1°C, the nearby Rakiura Stewart Island was experiencing much milder temperatures due to a weather phenomenon called a low-level inversion. As the cold snap continues, authorities are urging drivers to take extra precautions and stay alert on the roads. The impact of the extreme weather has already been felt, with communities bracing for more challenges as temperatures remain low.
A cyclist was seriously injured in a hit-and-run incident in Christchurch, prompting a major police investigation. The crash occurred in the Burnside suburb just after 9 a.m. when a white SUV struck the cyclist. The driver initially stopped but left the scene without checking on the injured person. Police are now seeking help to identify the suspect, described as an Indian man in his 40 SR50, around 178 centimeters tall. With a tattoo on his forearm, he was wearing a blue turban and a gray hoodie. Authorities are urging anyone with information to call 250,000. The cyclist is receiving treatment in the hospital, and the incident has sparked discussions about road safety and the need for immediate action in traffic accidents. The community is being asked to remain vigilant as the investigation continues.
A 75-year-old West Coast beekeeper, Roy Arbin, has gone missing during a tramp near Greymouth. Police are searching for him, worried about his safety in the harsh weather. Arbin has a history of helping with recovery efforts. After some of New Zealand's most tragic events, in 1979, he was part of the team that retrieved body, and Niven has a history of Krager. He later helped recover victims from a collapsed viewing platform in Paparoa National Park. But his life took a different turn when he became involved in a drug smuggling case. A suitcase he carried from Brazil was found to contain over 2 kilograms of cocaine. But he was found not guilty in the documentary The Scam. Now, with Arbin missing, the community is hoping for his safe return. His disappearance under such extreme conditions has raised serious concerns. As the search continues, people are remembering the man who once helped in some of the country's most difficult recovery missions, only to later face a legal ordeal that ultimately cleared his name.
In New Zealand, the public has until Monday to submit their views on a proposed bill that aims to criminalize migrant exploitation. The bill, introduced by Immigration Minister Eric Orr, to charge excessive fees for employers. To charge excessive fees for employment opportunities, often in the tens of thousands. Currently, the law only covers situations where a premium is paid after employment has begun and by the employer. The new proposal would expand the scope to include anyone involved in the recruitment process. Repassed, the bill could lead to up to 7 years in prison or fines of up to $100,000. However, some critics argue the bill grants too much power to immigration officers and may be difficult to enforce abroad. As the submission period closes, the government moves closer to determining the future of the Signacor piece of Ture Sangtre Tusenga.
That's all for today's news. We appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this update, please consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep going.